happy the final week of 2022. I hope you're doing well. I thought I would make a video talking about my 2023 planner lineup because I think I have it finalized and I'm very excited. It is a very rainy and gloomy day outside, so it's going to be a super cozy day, and I also have, of course, my cappuccino here. Before I get started, I do want to mention that, you know, having 5 different planners, it's very excessive and it's definitely not going to work for everybody. Planning is functional for me, but it's also a hobby, so I do enjoy having various planners and outlets in my daily life. But also I just want to, emphasize that you don't need 5 different planners to succeed in life. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I wanted to put this disclaimer out there. But anyways, let's get started with the actual lineup. The first thing is the Hobonichi Cousin. I think a lot of you expected me to have this in my lineup because I really enjoyed my 2022 one. You can see how chunky it is. I will be doing a flip through of this when it is January 1st, I think. Anyways, this is the 2023 version. It is so thin and clean looking, and I'm so excited to bulk this up. I did get the Japanese version. They did introduce the English version this year, but I still preferred the Japanese version. So I'm just going to talk about a few changes that I will be making. Firstly, with the kind of like perpetual calendar section, I will no longer do like a daily mood tracker like I did last year, or I guess this year, just because it was honestly a lot to keep up with. I feel like any sort of daily tracker, it just takes a lot to keep up with, especially if you have multiple planners. So for this Hobonichi Cousin perpetual calendar, I decided to just use it for its intended purpose, if it even had an intended purpose. But basically, I'm just going to be writing down the main big things of the year. So I just started off by writing down all of the birthdays and also my shop anniversary. And if there, I don't know, happens to be any vacations, which I doubt will have any, but just like any big things I will put in here, but nothing like a daily tracker or anything like that. I already started on my first weekly spread. This spread is also in the 2022 planner, but I decided to just start fresh and dive into the 2023 planner. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to add here. I don't plan on taking any different approaches to the daily spread. I will once again divide the daily page right here, and this side is going to be my main to-do list, and then this side is just going to be any random journaling. And this is my overall everything planner. It's going to have all of my work stuff, my daily life stuff, and any brainstorming and ideas and all of that. So yeah, once again, for 2023, my Hobonichi Cousin is going to serve as my everything planner. And going along with the Hobonichis, I do have the Hobonichi Weeks for this year, which I recently did a setup video on. This is my 100% personal planner. I don't know if I mentioned this anywhere, but in 2022, I just really felt like I kind of lost a bit of my personality, if that makes any sense. Like a lot of my hobbies outside of planning, I kind of put on the back burner, and I just didn't really do a lot of things that were personal. So for this Hobonichi Weeks planner, I am intending on using it as kind of like a personal development thing where I write down all of the things that happen in my daily life, but also just like things that I read, hobbies that I pursue and stuff like that. And because it's nothing like serious like a work planner, I decided to go with like a super fun cover and setup. So very excited about this. I did already get started on my first spread in here. I haven't actually used the Hobonichi Weeks since 2020, so this is really exciting. So this is my first completed spread in my Hobonichi Weeks, and I honestly had to stop myself several times because I would almost write down something related to work, and I would remember like, hey, no, this is 100% a personal planner. I cannot write that, FedEx delivered some inventory, or I worked on this project, etc. So there will inevitably be quite a bit of blank space, especially during my busier months when I don't have too many personal things, but that's okay. And basically what I did was I used a pencil to block off a section, and this is a column where I'm just making little bullet points. And as for the pen that I'm using, so this is kind of confusing. This is the Sarasa Dry 0.4 gel pen. However, I have an Energel Clena 0.4 millimeter refill in here. Is there a reason? No, I just decided to put it in here, and I'm just using it. So ink-wise, it is the Energel Clena 0.4, and it is working beautifully in this planner. I'm trying to keep stickers and like washi tapes to a minimum. I did put in this like Netherlands stamp that I got from one of my lovely customers, which was so sweet. And here I'm just writing down my meals. I said I might want to track my meals or workouts, but I decided to just do meals because I realized that I'm tracking my workouts in the year at a glance page, so it's not really necessary to do it here. And I also mentioned this in my previous video, but this is not like everything that I ate in a day because I wouldn't be able to fit it in, but just like the main, I guess, exciting things I will write down in this column. And then I also said in my previous video, I wanted this to be like half functional and half free-for-all. I decided for this week and the following weeks that this is just going to be purely a free-for-all. Like, I don't want anything consistent on this note page. I think I will just go with whatever I need. So this is this current week, and it is Tuesday, so I haven't written too much yet. And as you can see, I just decided to start off with a grocery list. It is just what I feel like I needed today, so that is all. And yeah, I think this is going to be my approach with this planner, just writing down personal stuff here, writing down exciting meals over here, and then whatever I feel like doing in the note page. And, you know, if I don't feel like doing anything in the note page, then whatever, we'll just have a more blank week, and that is totally fine. And as for the note pages, I showed all of this in the setup. So far, I haven't written too much yet because we are not even in 2023 yet. But the only thing that I've done is started off my reading journal, and I'm currently reading A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and I just had one little thought so far. Yeah, I'm very excited and hopeful for this planner. I hope that it kind of keeps me a little bit more grounded in terms of who I am outside of the Coffee Masters Co. Just because, again, like I noticed when I was doing this spread, I was so tempted to write down like the projects that I was working on and like looking for office spaces. I was so excited to write it down, but I was like, wait a minute, no, that is not personal. Even if I'm personally excited about it, that is to do with business, and I should not write it in this planner. Yeah, anyways, I'm hoping that this will help me with just like keeping my personal life a little bit more vibrant. And moving on, next up is my Traveler's Notebook insert. I don't actually have the Traveler's Notebook itself, but I'm just using the insert because I do like this layout. I talked about this already. This is my language planner, and I'm basically alternating between French and Spanish. So yeah, again, this is my language practice planner. So there is honestly like very little planning involved. It's just me practicing the language, and I basically really want to get better at like talking about my daily life in French and Spanish. So I think this is really helpful, where I just translate basically everything that I'm doing in my other planners into here, but of course in the respective languages. And there is a lot of like repetition. Like, for example, I work a lot, and the nature of my work oftentimes is pretty repetitive, like responding to emails. So I do write the same thing multiple times, but honestly, like, I think that's awesome because then it's kind of like ingrained in my brain what this particular task is in that language. So now I know how to say respond to emails in French very fluently. And yeah, that is kind of my intention with this planner. It's really, really helping with my vocab and stuff like that. Although I also said that there probably is a lot of errors because I am self-learning. And so yeah, this was last week and this is this current week. I'm doing Spanish. I haven't done anything today because I typically do this at the end of the day when the day is over, and again I translate whatever I wrote in my English planners into here. So yeah, if you are trying to maybe get better at a certain language, it might be fun to get a little planner or insert like this and practice every day. I think it's a lot more fun than just doing like grammar practice and flashcards and stuff like that. Next up is my pocket bullet journal. I've talked about this thing like 20 billion times on this channel. I've also done a lot of flip throughs, so I'm not going to talk too much about this, but this is basically my free-for-all whatever bullet journal. It is purely a creative outlet for me, just to do a bunch of doodles and to-do lists and write down random notes of things that I learn, doodles of my daily life, to-do lists, pen swatches, all of that. When I'm feeling just truly creative, this is the bullet journal that I use. And yeah, we're on page 55 now, and so far it's just been the most fun process ever. And after I finish this, I'm definitely gonna get another one because honestly, like, it's been so good for my mental health. I will be continuing on using this in 2023. I don't really have like a beginning or end, so yeah, this is just gonna roll over into the next year. I'm not fussy about starting a new book just because it's a new year. And this is a KokuyoCampus monthly planner. This is my business planner where I write down all of my deadlines and new releases and stuff like that. So obviously I can't really show you the filled out months. I already have December, January, February, and part of March filled out. So this is just like a blank month. Unfortunately, I just cannot really show you. If you are just looking for a really good monthly planner, I highly recommend this one. The paper is really, really nice. You get a lot of space, and there is also, I believe there's like 100 and something pages of grid paper in the back. So this is where I do a lot of my brainstorming and list making and ideas and all of that. So yeah, this is another planner that I'm using basically every day in my daily life. And there are actually 2 more planners that I'm also using, but it's not on a daily basis. It is the Foxy Fix Traveler's Notebook, which is my overall business planner, and also my emoji planner, which I use as a list maker. I only use them whenever I need to, so I won't be including them in those videos, but I will link below the video where I talk about them. So yeah, this is my planner lineup for 2023. Again, 5 planners is a lot, and it's definitely not necessary, but I do think each of them have their own place in my life, and I think they're gonna work beautifully together. I do hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you soon for a mega flip through of this chunky planner. So yeah, happy new year, and I will see you soon. Bye!